Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Phil. This is my lovely co-host, Samantha, and we got Ricky Gervais back on the channel.
Yay, I haven't had him for a while, so I'm excited.
It's been a long time since we did some Ricky Gervais because we've got so many other comedians that we've been doing in the meantime.
Loving the journey.
Yeah, we've added so many different comics, and it's been a really eye-opening journey to see how many talented individuals there are out
and
there.
Such different styles,
Yeah.
like crazy.
But
I love it.
Ricky Gervais was one of the originals that we got into. We did the Golden Globes roast, which is a great one, and that everyone loves seeing him go in on everybody
no
at that
mercy.
awards show. And we also found out recently that he was a executive producer of The Office.
Yes, we did find that out, which is interesting because I had never gotten into The Office too much.
Yeah,
back when it was like all the rage.
But it was a huge show, and I think it was the UK version that he actually originally started executive producing. Cool. Anyways, so we're doing Ricky Gervais on woke culture here. No idea what to expect. This is just a clip that we grabbed. We always appreciate your insight, so if you want to add any more below, please feel free to do so. But I do enjoy Ricky Gervais, and I actually bought my parents some tickets to go see Ricky Gervais, and they enjoyed his show as well. So
they said he was great.
Let's see if he's going to give us some laughs on this one.
When someone says to me about another comedian, they say, oh, they're not funny. Even if I agree with them, I stand up and I say, well, you can't say that. You've got to say, you don't find them funny, you know. And I hate it when people say, that joke was offensive. I gotta say, no, you've got to say, you found it offensive. Because it's all about feelings, and feelings are personal. And there's loads of types of comedy, and comedy evolves, you know. There's a new type of comedy at the moment called woke comedy, right? No, it's very progressive, you know. There are some clubs now where the comedian has to sign a thing saying he won't say anything contentious or he won't say anything that could offend anyone. It's a safe space for the audience. Woke comedy. And I tried to watch a bit of it, and I decided I'd rather watch Louis C.K. masturbate. Can't mention him anymore. He's cancelled. Not enough to apologise and move on. You've got to. And the big controversy last time I did it was a Caitlyn Jenner joke. Right? Oh, outrage on Twitter the next day. And by outrage, I mean a couple of people going, it was transphobic. It wasn't transphobic in the slightest. It was a joke about a trans person, but the joke had nothing to do with that aspect of her existence. And that's the other thing about offence. People get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target, and they're not necessarily the same. I'll tell you the joke. You make your own minds up. Right. So... It's live, so they go, and now your host for the 68th Annual Golden Globe Awards, please welcome Ricky Gervais. They go, and they're all clapping, all the actors are looking up, smiling at me nervously. It's brilliant, right? So I just go, relax, I'm going to be nice tonight. I've changed. Not as much as Bruce Jenner. But if you're the type of person to revel in someone getting cancelled for something they said 10 years ago, you're just ensuring that one day you'll be cancelled for something you said today. You can't predict what will be offensive in the future. You don't know who the dominant mob will be. You know, like, the worst thing you can say today, get you cancelled on Twitter, death threats, whatever, the worst thing you can say today is, women don't have penises, right? Now, no one saw that coming.
Very true.
There are no 10-year-old tweets of people saying... you won't find a 10-year-old tweet of someone saying women don't have penises. Do you know why? We didn't think we fucking had to. Try and explain to someone every day...
Would you like to confirm that that's true, Samantha?
I would like to confirm that,
So
yes.
you're a woman?
Yes.
And you don't have a penis?
Correct.
Good to know.
In case anybody was wondering.
We got confirmation. It is pretty crazy when you think about that, though. Like how quickly things have evolved from the standpoint of speech and what is deemed hate speech and all this other stuff. And, you know, you can't even say... Basically, what he's alluding to,
we have emojis these days of men with pregnant bellies.
Yes.
So.
Yes. I mean, and it's just crazy, though, I think, to me, is that what he's referring to is there's always going to be sections of people that find things offensive, right? The jokes, you know, some people are just not going to like them. There's been jokes that we've done on the channel that I'm like, I just didn't find that funny.
Yeah.
But I do realize that some people will find it funny. So, you know, for me to get offended by it, and I'm not saying I was offended by it, I'm just saying I didn't think it was as funny as other people probably would find it funny. But to get offended by it makes no sense, right? It's like, it's just a joke for one, right? But the other component of this is that we're catering to a subset group of society, right? So it's like, if you're talking about trans people, if you're talking about, you know, men, women, whatever, like the joke can be intended for a certain audience, right? It's not intended for you
For
as the
everyone.
subset, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're talking about a trans person, for example, they're 1% of the population, whatever it might be. So if somebody is getting offended by that, it's like you remove all this language because it's, you know, the 1%.
Like super minority.
Right. And so it doesn't make sense to cater to every little specific group about every little thing, because you're never going to be able to say anything at all at that point, right?
For sure. I think it's a good point that he made at the beginning too, about saying how, like, you shouldn't say people aren't funny or that something's offensive.
Exactly.
It's like, it's how you feel about it.
It's
so
speech.
you didn't find it funny.
It's
you
words.
felt like it was offensive to you.
Yeah.
And I never really thought about it like that.
But it's also words, right? Like, they're not going to do anything to you.
Yeah.
If you're an adult watching a comedy special where you're taking all this stuff in, right? It's like, why, if you don't care, don't watch. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
Yeah.
Move on. It's speech. That's all it is. It's not like somebody's coming into your door and beating the crap out of you. You know, it's not like a physical harm to you. I think we've gone way beyond in like words are going to cause.
You know, I think the whole like mental health thing these days has been, I don't want to say blown out of proportion, but I feel like people are a lot more sensitive with mental health these days.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's keep it going. Let's
Ricky.
get back to Ricky.
Women don't have penises. Do you know why? We didn't think we fucking had to.
I hear you, Ricky.
Try and explain to someone every day what freedom of speech means, particularly in the context of comedy, and particularly in the context of a joke, that a joke about a bad thing isn't as bad as the bad thing. It's not even necessarily condoning the bad thing. It could be anti the bad thing. It depends on the actual joke. And this woman said, you should never make jokes about food allergies. I should have left it, right? I sent back, I make jokes about AIDS, cancer, famine, and the Holocaust, right? And you're telling me I should never joke about food allergies. She sent back, yes, but the Holocaust didn't kill children. Well, it did, didn't it? It was horrible, the Holocaust. Some would say as bad as food allergies. Women. Not all women. I mean the old-fashioned ones. You know, the old-fashioned women. Oh, God. You know, the ones with wombs. Oh. Those fucking dinosaurs. No, I love the new women. I know the new women. They're great, aren't they? You know, the new ones we've been seeing lately. The ones with beards and cocks. They're as good as... They're as good as gold. I love them. No, it's the old-fashioned with it. And now the old-fashioned, they go like, oh, they want to use our toilets. Why shouldn't they use your toilets? For ladies. They are ladies. Look at their pronouns. What about this person isn't a lady? Well, his penis. Her penis, you fucking bigot. What if he rapes me? What if she rapes you? You fucking turf whore.
Priorities.
Welcome to my show. It's not a show. There's no dancers or jugglers. It's basically a bloke talking, which is essentially what stand-up comedy is, isn't it? A bloke talking. Sexist. What about all the funny female comedians? Like, No. Right. No. I'm not doing that. Okay, right. That was irony. There's going to be a bit of that throughout the show. See if you can spot it, okay? Now, that's when I say something I don't really mean for comic effect, and you as an audience, you laugh at the wrong thing because you know what the right thing is. It's a way of satirising attitudes. Like that first joke, I used the old-fashioned sexist trope that women aren't funny. Now, in real life, I know there are loads of funny women. Like, I did it again. Well spotted. Good. But these people are virtue signalling. They're trying to bring people down to raise their own status. And they say it's because, no, we're protecting minorities. Like, they're basically saying minorities haven't got a sense of humour, which is so patronising. And I get that as well, to what it's like to be outnumbered. In this country, we're still only 5% black, 5% Asian, 5% LGBTQ, you know, tiny numbers. Now, I'm a white, heterosexual multi-millionaire, right? There's less than 1% of us. Do I whine? No. I don't mind. I just get on with it. Come on, Rick. Come on, Rick. Just keep I'm like Rosa Parks. Do you know what I mean? I'm like... Except I fought for the right to never have to take a seat on a bus. But...
This is interesting. Let me just see if there's anything
This
else.
tweet.
Okay, there is more stuff. So let's read what the tweet says. It says, "This is me pondering whether they'll change any of the words I've used in my work after I'm dead to spare those who are fragile and easily offended. Words like fat and ugly and C and F and fat, ugly, greedy, pathetic, little, stupid, FC." Stuff like that. Just not trying to get censored on YouTube here, guys, because any of those automated systems catch any of those words that I'm saying, for some reason they may censor it and demonetize it and get rid of all that stuff. So
Yeah, not worth the risk.
yeah. Anyways, so what are your thoughts on that quote there, Sam?
I mean, a little aggressive, but I think that I wouldn't put it past people to go back and bleep out some of his words in the future, or AI change them.
Well, yeah, I guess now AI could do that. It's also just interesting hearing him talk about, the washroom thing, because I feel like that's something that's so absolutely ridiculous for women, right? And it feels like he's actually talking about women a lot in this, which is interesting. I wasn't expecting it when he was talking about the woke culture stuff, but women has been at the forefront of the topic so far. And, that's my whole thing. It's right. Like, women have fought for their own rights for so long, and now are being put into a place where they're becoming vulnerable to their own rights to appease a much smaller minority of people. And oftentimes people, I think, that are trying to take advantage of it, right? And so, like, as a woman, I assume you don't feel comfortable in those situations, of trying to have a safe space of your own, and now that's being jeopardized.
Yeah, for sure. If I was in a bathroom or a change room and somebody who appeared to be male came in claiming to be a female, I would not be about that life.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So anyways, it's seems like the topics are on point thus far. We'll see what else is going on with these. Another tweet, it looks like.
When I start on a contentious subject, I feel the tension. Like, oh, is this going to be all right? Are we going to be able to laugh?
Yeah.
And I take them through a scary forest and out the other side, and it's always okay. And they, phew, right? And I think that's the important thing, because I've often said that people get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target.
Yeah.
And they're not necessarily the same thing. You can make jokes about any subject. It depends what the joke is.
Yeah.
There's no rules. You can't joke about this. You can.
You should be able
just
to.
can.
Yeah.
Okay? And there's nothing sacred.
Well, that's
really.
the point. There's nothing sacred. So
Yeah.
everything should be subject to ridicule.
Yeah.
I mean, even just to force you to understand, think about it more.
I know. But people then they go, wow, yeah, but you shouldn't hurt people's feelings. Well, you can if their feelings are wrong.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't like the facts, don't change the facts, change the feelings.
Yeah.
You know. I did think of adopting for a while, a little third world child, because that would tick all three boxes, wouldn't it? You know, you think of it like, one, I wouldn't be adding to the population problem. I'd be alleviating existing problem. A young kid born through no fault of his own into abject poverty. He would have died without me. I can literally save his life and give him a great upbringing. Right. Two, he would be grateful, wouldn't he? He'd want to pay me back, wouldn't he? Particularly if I let him know that all the other kids in the village, they weren't so lucky, they didn't make it out. I'd tell him that early on, so he really bucked his ideas up, right? I'd go, Tundi, come here. Yeah, Yeah, go and pop a shirt on. You're not in Africa now, mate. That's better. Yeah. Tundi, yeah. Water straight out of a tap, innit? Yes. No, it's not free. It's Hampstead. Yeah, of course it's safe. Safe, fresh drinking water. Have as much as you want. Have a bucket full. Straight out of a tap. Fresh drinking water. There you go. Go and clean the car. Go on.
That was funny.
Fresh drinking water.
Tunde.
Ticked off all the boxes with his adoption there.
Oh, goodness.
What were your thoughts on this one from Ricky Gervais?
I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought he was pretty spot on with a lot of it. And I thought it was like relatable to today's times. I thought he did a good job at like captivating and keeping you interested the whole way, even though it was still like splices. Because sometimes with splices, it's hard to know the context.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's it's very much a hot topic right now in particular. The woke word is thrown around so often.
Yeah.
Whether it's in politics, whether it's in entertainment, it's now I think making its way into music and TV shows as well as comedy, right? So it's something that I think is really prevalent, but it's great that it comes out in comedy because it kind of disarms the defensiveness that people have with it, and
like
I think
it forces you to think about it a little bit more.
Yeah, and allows people to process it a bit better because you get caught in your own little bubble sometimes without the forms of entertainment. And, I think, like I said, comedy in particular is a great way you can joke about it and people can talk about it and realize the important points about the message on a serious note, but also have the enjoyment of the comedic relief at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. It makes it like less awkward and uncomfortable for people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure. No, and I think he's like somebody who does a good job at that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think he did more so on this one than I really have seen. He did a lot of on the Golden Globes. He talked about like calling people out, but I think this is the first time I've personally heard him, discuss these topics, I think in particular.
Yeah, I honestly personally like this better than the Golden Globes one because I feel like this was on like a specific topic that I could stay consistent with and like engaged in the whole time, opposed to him. Like, I think with the Golden Globes, like sometimes he's roasting people that I don't know who they are. I don't know enough about them to like actually find it that funny.
True.
So I really enjoyed this. I'd say this is my favorite thing I've seen from him.
Well, let us know if you guys enjoyed it as well. Make sure you hit the like button, leave us a comment, and let us know if there's anything else from Ricky that you want us to check out. If you want to subscribe, we've got lots of videos on the go all the time. We got comedy, music, sports, and history on the channel. So if you're looking for more comedy, we'll have a couple videos coming during the week. And other than that, you just got to have a great day.
Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you then.